You're listening to the Mental for Moto podcast, an M4M network production.
There were times I was lost, dark had fear, couldn't see through the rain. In the end it was clear, hit the fan. I was more than one man who was there to lend a hand. Together we'd stand, always at my back, my guardian soldier. Team put together, united we conquer. Blessed is he who in the name of charity carry me when I'm weak straight through the valley of darkness. Pitch blackness, the heartless, regardless, fear couldn't part us. Thick and thin, there by my side. At times we collide, but in the end we ride. Thick and thin, there by my side. At times we collide, but in the end we ride. We ride, ride. I am my brother's keeper. Keep on holding strong. United we stand, divided we fall. Together we belong. I am my brother's keeper. Keep on holding strong. United we stand, divided we fall. Together we belong. I am my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper.
And we're live. This is show number 13 of the Mental for Moto podcast. I'm your host, Pete Wolf. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors of this show, Graphics by Aqua, Death Grip Products, SPMX Suspension and Engine Performance, Wolf Building Compliance, and Works Racing. Listen out for more info on the great range of products and services these guys provide to riders later in this podcast. Now, I'm really looking forward to today's episode of Inside the Helmet with our feature guest, MX1 athlete Liam Jackson. At just 18 years of age, Liam is one of the up-and-comers on the Oates MX program and has definitely shown a few flashes of brilliance in what has been his first full year racing in the MX1 class. He scored points in all but one of the ProMX rounds so far, and his best results include an 8th place moto finish in Moto 1 and a 10th place overall at round 3 in Wodonga. As many of the listeners are probably already aware, Liam's Oates MX teammate Braeden Krebs also came on the show recently, and he's going to be stepping up to the MX1 class for the last 2 rounds of the ProMX Championship. During his interview, Braeden directed a bit of smack talk Liam's way, so I'm looking forward to hearing Liam's response today. These guys are good mates, and it's definitely going to be a battle for ultimate bragging rights after these guys go head-to-head at QMP and Coolum. So I can't wait. Welcome to the podcast, Liam. What's been happening?
Not a lot.
Yeah,
Training,
yeah.
Riding bikes.
Nice.
Usual.
You're on your way up to New South Wales at the moment, I hear.
Yeah, just on my way home for the week. Heading up to Queensland after that.
Beautiful. Well, to start off, tell us a bit about yourself.
My name's Liam Jackson. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Coonamble, New South Wales.
Oh, very nice. I actually didn't realise that you were that young until I saw you on the Hattah score sheet up there racing the under-19s.
Yeah.
I thought you were a lot older.
Yeah. No, I just turned 18 this year.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we'll go back to the start. How and when did you get into motocross?
Well, my parents brought me a CRF 50 when I think I was about 4. And
Yep.
I just started riding that and then watched Supercross the movie, and I think I told my parents that one day that I wanted to race, and yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it.
The rest is history. So
Yeah.
you grew up around New South Wales. Were there many places to ride up that way? And how long was it till you got into racing?
I got into racing when I was about 5 or 6, I believe. And yeah, mainly all bush tracks just around town there where I grew up. My grandparents lived on property, so they had a couple tracks there that I could ride. And then, yeah, once I got into it a bit more, we eventually built our own track. And yeah.
No. So did you do a lot of off-road stuff, or are you still into off-road stuff, or is it mostly just motocross?
Mostly just motocross. I actually did the Vic off-roads this year at Casterton.
Yep.
Gave that a crack and, yeah, had a bit of fun. I used to race off-roads a little bit, but not so much anymore.
Yeah. Do you prefer the motocross?
Yeah, I'm a big motocross guy, so good
awesome.
fun. I wouldn't mind doing a few more off-roads though next year.
Yeah, I think it's good
They're
training.
actually good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, when the tracks get deep and ruddy and muddy, I think the off-road guys definitely have a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, let's have a chat about the ProMX Championship so far. Take me through how your season's gone.
It's been pretty up and down this year. Had a few rough rounds, but a couple of good ones. Like Albury wasn't too bad for me.
Yep.
Ended up 10th overall there. Looking to put the last 2 rounds together and hopefully come out with some good results.
Yeah, what was your goal coming into the season?
To be honest, just ride as hard as I can every round, and I come where I come.
Yep, so you didn't sort of have any expectations at the beginning?
No, not really. I was pretty happy as long as I was scoring points every round, which I have done so far.
Yep.
Except for Maitland, I think.
Yep. As you sort of said, you've had some up and down results. Obviously, you had the 8:14 at Wodonga for 10th overall, but you've had a few individual race results that are sort of outside the top 20. What do you think it is that you need to tighten up to get a few more consistent results?
Fitness was definitely one of them, but I'm a bit fitter now. I'm not really too sure what's going on, but I seem to always have a good first moto.
Yep.
And then I'll just have a little crash or a couple of crashes in the second race, or just silly mistakes, and end up outside the top 20 and whatnot.
And I have to sort of ask, being just 18 years old, how come you're racing MX1? Like usually at 18, guys might still be racing MX2 or have just stepped up to MX2. But you sort of, I think you raced MX1 last year as well. How's that sort of come about?
Yeah, well, I was in MX3 last year, and I still can be this year because I was still 17 on the 1st of January.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were in MX1 last year.
Yeah, no, I did. I did step up to MX1 about halfway through last year, I think it was.
Oh, yep.
Because I ended up blowing up my race 250, and then we just couldn't afford to get another one built.
Yep.
So just on a stock 450 in the MX1 class.
Yeah, I think you can be pretty competitive on a stock bike in the 450s. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a lot less maintenance, and it makes it a bit easier when you're a privateer.
Yeah, definitely.
A topic that seems to have come up a bit lately, especially with some of the younger riders I've been speaking to, is about the mental aspects of motocross and the challenges of putting it all together on race day. How do you sort of go with that, being a fairly young MX1 rider?
Well, actually, I used to struggle with the mental side of it quite a bit, and then I got onto a mental performance coach, Matty Costanzo, and she's helped me out quite a bit, and yeah, pretty good now actually.
What sort of techniques do you use to, without giving too much away, to sort of help yourself? Do you do a bit of visualization, or is it just about your mindset on the day?
Yeah, I do a bit of visualization and a bit of self-talking and stuff, and yeah, just try and get myself into that race mindset on race day.
Yep, keep telling yourself that you're going to go out there and kick butt.
Yeah, just telling myself that I can do it and I belong there.
Yeah, well, I think definitely when you're on the track and you're having good results, it definitely shows that you can do it and you've got the speed.
Yeah, for sure.
Going back to Wodonga, one of the things that obviously stood out there was, the track was super, super rough and deep and muddy. Is that sort of one of the things you think helped you get such a good result up there? Is that the sort of track conditions that you like?
Yeah, definitely. Like, a lot of people don't like that stuff, and I just sort of came into it with the mindset I was just going to go out there and have fun, just playing in the mud. Where I come is where I come, and yeah, I think I went out for qualifying, and I think I qualified 8th as well, and I said to myself it was going to be a good day from there.
Yeah, it's amazing how much that sort of mindset can play a difference. I mean, Jed Beaton said the same thing, that he was just going to go out and have fun. And I spoke to Todd Waters in the pits, and he said the same thing. Like, why wouldn't I want to go out there? Because I was looking at the track thinking, as an ordinary rider, it didn't look like a fun place to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I was talking to a lot of the riders, and they were not very happy about it and didn't want to go out there. And I just sort of said to myself, well, I'm going out there to have a bit of fun on my bike and see what happens.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I know Jade says that you guys do a lot of work on rough tracks, and that's sort of where your strengths are.
Yeah, we ride quite a few rough tracks, so it's good. Definitely helps out.
As I know you're aware, I had one of your training partners, Braeden Krebs, on the podcast a few weeks ago, and he usually races in the MX2 class, but he's stepping up to MX1 for the last 2 rounds, and he fired some shots your way, saying that his goal for those 2 rounds was to, quote, wax Liam Jackson. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I did listen to that podcast, but I'm not going to come on here and talk shit about him, but I'll just let our results speak for themselves, and whoever beats the other one has bragging rights for training in the next week.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see how that plays out.
It'll be good.
Yeah, a bit disappointed you're not firing some shots back, but I completely understand. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say. The results are going to speak for themselves.
That's it.
Yeah. So what are your goals for the last 2 rounds then?
Put some solid moto scores together, just consistency throughout all my motos. Just try not to have that bad second moto and just ride as hard as I can each race every time I'm out there.
One of the questions that I did ask Braeden when he was on, and I think I'm going to ask a few more of the privateers as well, was just about the actual series itself, because it's pretty hard, obviously, for privateers to make all the rounds and all the travel, and they need a lot of support, and both financially and with equipment and bikes and training. So one of the things that Bray suggested was possibly having the rounds more spaced out. Now, recently I've heard that some of the factory riders were saying it would actually be better with to have more rounds and a much tighter schedule. What are your sort of thoughts about that?
Yeah, I can definitely see where Bray's coming from with having them spaced out, but I would probably prefer them a few more rounds and a bit closer, just so I'm racing a bit more.
Yep.
Because it's sort of have a race and then a few weeks off and then back to a race. I'm sort of not really ready for the race.
Well, I definitely see there's arguments both ways. This is what the factory guys were saying. The difficulty of having it spaced out meant that they had to stay, ultimately race fit in between all the rounds, and that's where some of the injuries happened. And keeping it closer together would minimise that. But at the same time, if you've got a day job and you've got to pay your way, having it spaced out more obviously makes it a little bit easier to fit it all in, with all the other life responsibilities.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you do many of the regional races in between rounds to stay fit?
Not really. I've done a couple recently. Like I've done the Northern up in Deniliquin a couple of weeks ago, and I did a Hattah Desert Race a few weeks ago, and then I raced Wonthaggi Gippies on the weekend just gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't really done many others.
How come you sort of don't do more of the regional races?
I more or less just go off training on the weekends just because I can get more time on the bikes.
Yep.
At the regional races, you get like 3 20-minute motos at max. Get more time on the bike, just going training somewhere with all the boys and having fun as well.
No, that makes sense. So did you move down to Victoria to train with Jades or to race? Or?
Yep. Yeah, moved down to train with Jades and just try and better myself.
And so how long have you been part of that program?
I think I moved down about mid-February. So, 6-7 months now.
Yeah, so fairly recently. And how's that all going for you?
Yeah, it's going great. I actually love it. I'm really enjoying it and putting plenty of hours on the bikes, and Mum's not very happy about that, having to pay the bills, but I'm quite liking it.
I can imagine. It's living the dream.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So is your goal ultimately to try to secure a factory ride? Is that what you're aiming for?
Oh, yeah, that's obviously one of the main goals for everyone, I think, is trying to get that factory ride and not have to pay for it anymore.
Well, I think you're not too far off. You're definitely knocking on the door of the top 10, and on your day, one of the faster privateers in the class, that's for sure.
Yeah, just need to put it all together on race day and really show my speed.
Yeah, I think a little bit of consistency, mate, and you're just about there. All right, we hope you're enjoying the show. It's time to take a quick break to say a few words on behalf of our awesome sponsors. So keep your ear holes open and your finger away from that fast forward button. And most importantly, support the sponsors that support Mental for Moto. Death Grip Products. Nearly all motocross riders experience arm pump, some of us more than others. As well as exercise and a good diet, one of the things that's really helped me is wearing the right gloves. The Death Grip Reaper glove is a lightweight glove that is designed to maximize comfort and feel, and the non-slip logo on the palm and fingertips reduces the effort that it takes to stay connected to the controls. Death Grip Products is currently offering a whopping 35% off the Reaper glove for Mental for Moto listeners. To take advantage of this offer, click on the link below and use the promo code MENTAL23, and you can conquer your arm pump demons as well. Works Racing Goggles. It's been a horrible wet winter so far, but with the Works Racing roll-off system, you can ensure that you ride with clear vision every time you get on the track, regardless of how muddy it gets. A small locally owned business, Works Racing Goggles offer premium performance at a fraction of the price of some of the big name brands. To order yourself a pair of Works Racing Goggles today, simply follow the link below. Wolf Building Compliance and Fire Protection. Having a quality fire extinguisher in your trailer and workshop is one good way to make sure that your valuable dirt bikes don't accidentally go up in flames. Servicing the Greater Melbourne area, Wolf can help you out with all your fire protection needs. Visit wolfbc.net or click on the link below and use the contact form, and the guys at Wolf will be sure to look after you. SPMX engine and suspension performance. There's one thing that the bikes ridden by the fastest riders in the world have in common, and it isn't always that they have the most horsepower, fanciest engine mods, or shiniest aftermarket exhaust systems. It's good suspension. Contrary to popular belief though, having your suspension working correctly for your weight, speed, and preferred style of riding is no longer a luxury that is accessible only to the pros. As an average rider myself, I can attest what a difference getting your suspension tuned and serviced makes. So if you want to go faster, ride safer, and simply enjoy your riding more, book in with Steve at SPMX to get your suspension tuned and serviced. You'll be amazed just at what a difference it makes. Graphics by Aqua. If you want a lit kit, Graphics by Aqua have got you covered. Neon colours, metal flaking, holographics. Graphics by Aqua are taking jersey prints, graphics kits, and graphic design to the next level. Best of all, Graphics by Aqua is locally based and exclusively use premium quality local suppliers for their full range of products and services. They even do custom logo designs and work uniforms. To see some of their awesome work, check out the Graphics by Aqua Instagram page and give them a follow while you're there, or simply follow the link below to visit their website. As I said at the start, please use these guys and tell them that Mental for Moto sent you. It'll help us out a lot. Now let's get back to this episode. The next topic I wanted to talk about, which was Hattah. Have you raced up at Hattah before?
Yeah, not as a senior though. I've only raced as a junior, and this year is my first year on the senior track.
So how many times have you done it?
I think I've done it about 3 or 4 years prior to this year. So this year will be my 5th, I believe.
And so, tell us a little bit about how your weekend went.
Weekend, actually, it wasn't too bad, but it wasn't too great either. Took off for prologue and just completely forgot where the track went after I'd walked it Friday. I just came into a turn too hot, hit the braking bumps and cartwheeled.
Oh no!
And then I got back going again, and I think I managed to prologue 40th, and then took off for the race, and I made quite a few passes in the first 2 laps. I had a decent crash on lap 3, and then I sort of just settled into my pace there.
Yeah. What sort of happened?
I think I was hovering around that. Rear end just stepped out, and I caught a tree root. And yeah, that was sort of the end of me, just high-sided. Yeah, and I sort of just sat around that 35th place, I think it was, most of the race, and then I had another decent crash again on the very last lap.
Yeah,
and
the
then,
track was pretty nuts.
A few more got me. Yeah, it was brutal.
So were you pretty banged up from that?
I was pretty sore from the first crash of the race. So on the lap 3, I was pretty sore from that. And then it knocked the wind out of me pretty well.
Yeah.
So I sort of spent half a lap just trying to get my breath back, and then it got my breath back, and I started going again. But yeah, it wasn't too bad from it, considering. I got pretty lucky, actually.
What bike did you ride? Because being a privateer, I don't imagine you've got 2 or 3 bikes in the shed ready to race. Was it your moto bike?
Yeah, it was actually my Nationals race bike that I raced.
And so what sort of changes did you make to it to prep it for Hattah?
I put a big fuel tank on it with the dry brake quick fill system, and then I obviously changed all the gearing and stuff, steering dampener, and then I did put speg pegs on, but I rode with them the week before and hated them, so I took them off and I didn't actually run them for the race.
Did you drop down the forks and sort of rake it out as well, or?
Yeah, I dropped the forks down a little bit just to so the front end held up a little bit more with that extra weight of the fuel tank there.
Yep.
And I think I went a couple of clicks harder on the forks as well, and that was about it.
Oh, nice. With the fuel tank, were you running a 12 litre so you could do 2 laps?
Yeah, it was a 12-litre fuel tank. Yeah, yep. I was making 2 laps.
Yeah. How'd you sort of go? Because I was up there pitting for Powley, and he ran the 12-litre tank, but it was pretty tight to get 2 laps in. How'd you go on the 450?
It actually wasn't too bad. I think I still had a little bit left over, about a litre or so left over every pit stop.
Yeah, because there was a lot of dudes running out. A lot of dudes running out of fuel on the back of the track.
Yeah, I've seen a couple guys run out not far from the pit and pushing their bikes back.
Oh, that'd be tragic after the amount of time and effort you put into that race, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I fueled up on the first lap just to make sure.
Yep.
Just mum and dad could just measure it and see if I could make 2 laps, and then they said I'd be right, so I went 2 laps from there.
Yeah, that's what we did. We pitted the first 2 laps, or Powley pitted the first 2 laps, and then I had to calculate how much fuel he used, and it was reasonably tight, and I was pretty nervous until he come around again. And
I bet.
Yeah, when he pulled in after 2 full laps the first time, and there was still a bit left, I was pretty relieved.
Yeah, I bet.
How'd you pull up after the race?
I was crook for about the next week, but body was sore for about a day and a bit, and then after that I was fine.
Yeah,
I was in bed for the week after, just crook as a dog.
What was that from? Just the exhaustion or the crashes?
I'm not really too sure. I got a concussion from the crash on Saturday in prologue. So I was like crook all Saturday night, throwing up and stuff, and then race Sunday, and I felt alright Sunday. And then, but I'm not really too sure what made me crook after that.
Definitely not nice. Anyway, what sort of stuff did you sort of consume during the race to keep yourself sort of energized up and hydrated and all that?
Well, quite a lot of water.
Yep.
And then I think towards the end of the race, I had about half a Red Bull, but just throughout the race and stuff, I just had them gel shots and whatnot, and a banana. And that's about it.
No. Did you cramp up at all or anything like that?
I actually didn't, thank God. And it wasn't too bad afterwards with cramps and stuff, so it was good. Yeah,
what about your hands? Were they pretty brutalised? Or did you tape them up as well?
No, my hands are actually completely fine. I just wore them risk racing like pads for the palm of your hand. I just put them on under my gloves, and my hands were actually completely fine. I didn't come out with a single blister, so I was cheering.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, some of the riders that I was talking to around the pits, they showed me after the race, and their hands looked like mincemeat.
Yeah. No, my hands actually look worse after a day of motos than they did after Hattah, so I was quite happy.
Oh, that's a good achievement to walk away pretty unscathed after that. Anyway, apart from obviously being sick. Anyway, yeah, are you going to be looking to do Hattah each year?
Yeah, definitely, especially because next year I'll be inside the top 40, so I have that good prologue.
Yep, you'll get to start with the top 40. That'll be unreal. I've never been up there before. I've actually never been to an off-road event before, and it just blew me away, just the scale of the event. The Friday, the scrutineering and the sign-in, like the size of that event, that was pretty cool. And then...
would have been quite the event to go to for your first off-road.
Yeah, I thought it was unreal. And just I just felt like the buzz once we're up there and on prologue day and watching the juniors race and then the seniors go out for prologue, it was just... Yeah, it was unreal. It was probably, I reckon, the coolest event I've been to. And I've been to a lot of moto events and Supercross events and stuff, but it was just a completely different animal.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's good fun. It's probably one of my favourite events throughout the year.
And everyone seems to be really chill as well.
Yeah, everyone's chill. They all talk to you and whatnot. So, yeah, it's actually good fun.
My last guest was Maddie Healy, and she went up snow riding. I think you were on that trip as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was actually, yeah.
Something a little bit different from the sands of Hattah.
Yeah, that was definitely very different that weekend, but it was good fun. Very, very cold once we got up there, but other than that, it was great.
Would you do that again?
Yeah, I'd probably definitely do it again.
Yeah, is it hard riding in the snow?
It is. It actually gave me PTSD from Albury. It's the exact same as riding that muddy crap.
Yeah, and you don't know what's going to be hiding underneath.
Yeah, there's a few cheeky rocks and stuff hiding underneath there that catch your front wheel out and make you crash or whatnot.
I can imagine. Yeah, that's not my idea of fun anyway. I like to see what's coming up ahead.
No, it was all right as long as you weren't the first bike going through.
Yeah, you can just follow someone else through the snow.
Yep.
Was it mostly icy or was it sort of deep, fresh snow?
No, it was mostly icy. That's why it was so hard to ride through. You had to stick in somebody else's wheel track.
Yep.
Otherwise, your front wheel would just like wash and stuff.
Yeah, and you were just running like normal tyres and your normal setup?
Yeah, we were just running normal tyres and stuff. We didn't change anything to go up there because we just sort of went for a trail ride and went, let's go up to the snow. Moving
forward, are you going to be looking at doing some Supercross this year as well?
Yeah, I am. I start Supercross training pretty much as soon as I get back home from Coolum, and I'll just see how I feel, and if I feel good on it, then I'll race the first 2 rounds, and if I go all right at them, then I'll probably race Melbourne as well.
Oh, that'd be unreal. Have you raced Supercross before?
Nah, I haven't got to race it yet. No.
Have you trained Supercross before, like ridden on Supercross tracks?
I've done a few days on Supercross. Like last year, I did a couple of days, and as a kid, I did a few days.
Where will you guys be training?
I'll probably mostly be training at Zane's house because he's got a Supercross track in his backyard.
Oh, cool.
Quite lucky. Yeah, so I'll probably be there, and then I think Jade has got a couple other Supercross tracks lined up for us. So.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Are you looking to maybe do the WSX as well if you can get a wild card or something like that?
Oh, look, probably not this year because it's my first year racing Supercross. I don't have any expectations for myself. I'm probably not going to be too good at it, but definitely in future, if I enjoy racing Supercross, definitely in future wouldn't mind getting a wild card to do it.
So what sort of career goals have you got when it comes to racing, like locally and or abroad?
Well, I'd obviously love to go overseas and race, but really I just want to do the best I can and see where I end up.
Ah, fair enough. So nothing specific?
No, not really.
So you're going to hang around and keep doing the MX1 class, for the next couple of years at least anyway?
Yeah, I'll hang around in Australia and do it definitely next year and we'll see where we go.
Well, before we wrap up, is there anyone that you've got supporting your program at the moment that you want to give a shout out to or to mention?
Definitely a massive shout out to Mum and Dad for supporting me racing, and just WA City Motorcycles for helping me out with like bikes and parts and everything, and Jade's Oates. Couldn't do it without them.
No, for sure. I think family seems to be definitely a big factor for privateers. Yeah, it'd be good if the series, paid a little bit better. Whether that's possible in Australia, is up for debate.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
There's I think a lot of riders and that don't get paid obviously to race, apart from the top few that can make a living out of it. But without everyone else behind them, the series wouldn't exist. So
yeah, that's it. I made my first bit of prize money ever this year, and it was at Albury.
Yep.
And I think I got paid $75 for getting 10th overall.
Oh. It's definitely it's pretty sobering to hear. I think there's a public perception that motocross riders, because you're quite professional and you're on TV, that they're making thousands of dollars all the way through the pack, but it's not the reality of it.
Yeah, well, I can confirm that I'm not.
I think most of the field they're paying to be there. I think there's definitely some improvements that could be made, but I think the sports seems to be growing at the moment in popularity again. So hopefully we can go into another golden era of moto, and that brings a bit more money. It was good to have the TV coverage this year, though.
Yeah, it's good.
Does that make it easier for you to get sponsors? Like, do you actively go out and chase sponsors?
I do a little bit. Just trying to get as much support as I can for my program. And
do you have any money sponsors, or is it just sort of gear and bikes that help you out? Or
I've got one money sponsor, just like buys my boots and stuff for me, and the rest is just sort of just discounts off of gear and stuff and all that sort of stuff.
Definitely doesn't make it easy, so you got to work, and obviously if your family can help out, that's a big help.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks heaps for coming on the show today, Liam. It's been a pleasure having you, and I'm really looking forward to the last couple of rounds, and hopefully watching you and Braeden do some battles, and all the other riders as well, obviously.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, and let's hope we have some good battles.
All right, well, good luck with the rest of the season and with Soupy, and I'll chat to you again.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks, Liam. Alrighty, that's it from me for another episode. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks again to Liam for coming on the show. Big thanks to our sponsors again, Graphics by Aqua, Death Grip Products, SPMX Suspension and Engine Performance, Wolf Building Compliance, and Works Racing. And of course, thanks to you people for listening. Until next time, see ya.